Welcome to another episode of After Five, the podcast. You got me and Lois Shu sitting here having a little After Five talk and discussing some of our plans for the future. I know I got an upcoming book for you all. It is going to be a treat. And I know Lois Shu is over there in the lab. Lois Shu, tell them what you're working on.
As of right now, I want to say first, I appreciate everybody coming in and watching us today. We actually gonna cover pretty good topics. Getting straight to careers, entrepreneurship, and everything in between. These new episodes that we're doing are gonna be more based towards helping people excel in certain parts of life, whether that be, like I mentioned, career, entrepreneurship, or just life in general. You should be able to apply these same methods or anything that you hear on these videos that me and Ali do, because we really want to help more people. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. So as of right now, I am actually fixing to re-release the magazine Hybrid Manual. So you'll be watching this on the official Lord Shoe channel, and this will also be on After Five's channel. We are coming together as a team, and we're going to offer as much value as possible in the written word. Obviously, we already hit y'all with the visual and the audio, so we wanted to come out with some more written content in the form of blogs. We also have an email on our website, so Ali will be actually writing some blogs too. I think that's what you told me, right? You said
Yeah,
you
I'll be writing
got
some blogs along with the book. Of course, I'll be doing some coaching and everything because along with the book, it's not that I will have a manual, a workbook and a manual alongside the book that I can work with for people that show exercise. You know, I always say practice make perfect. You got to shoot your jump shots. You want to be good at anything, you got to practice it. So, just to keep you in the habit of succeeding and going forward. That's what the coaching, that's what the workbook is about. The book is going to give you the direction and help you overcome. So, haven't titled the book yet. I'm still waiting to the end to title it. And the book should be out by Labor Day, this Labor Day, September 4th, I believe it is. And this book solves the problem. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. So, a lot of black people right now, especially black women, are booming in the corporate world. We're most educated right now. It's not uncommon to find us with master's degrees. We got director roles, VPs, senior manager roles in the corporate world, as well as most of us own our own businesses. And even some have other jobs that they're professionals, engineering and whatever it may be. But the thing that never get talked about is the hell that we face
yeah.
as we're trying to come through the corporate ladder. And people say, well, what do you mean? And this is a multifaceted hell that's overlooked with, with privilege. And I was reading the Harvard Business Journal, and it's titled "Evidence that Minorities Perform Worse Under Biased Managers." So, and this was put out in 2017 by Thomas S. D. and Michael J. Cobb. And the article examines the implicit bias on performance of minority employees. And the authors found that, minorities perform worse when they work for managers who have this bias against them and they know it. Another article that was put out in 2016 was about women and minorities. They are penalized for promoting diversity. So you kind of went into the corporate game. And that the article was by Frank Dobbs and Alexandria Kale. And that article explored the challenges that women and minorities face when they promote diversity in the workplace. And they found that these individuals, are penalized and have negative impacts on their career. They don't like for us to get together. And this is something that we feel. And the last one I looked at, is why diversity programs fail. And this is out in 2016. And this is by Herminia, I can't pronounce the last name, Arbara, and Kent Lineback. And that article argues that traditionally diversity programs are ineffective because they do not address the underlying cause of the bias. And now after proposes a new approach to diversity that focuses on changing the way that people think about how they interact with each other. But I want to go a layer deeper
Mm-hmm.
than that, than just diversity, because one thing you have to think about that, our others don't have to think about is when you take a work assignment, if you are Caucasian, if there's an opportunity, no matter what it is, where is it? You have nothing to worry about. If there's a assignment in Utah, let's go. If it's in Iowa, let's go. New Hampshire, Montana, Portland, Oregon. There's certain words you don't have to worry with, but as a minority, black especially, I have to wait and say, stop, hold up, pump the brakes. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great opportunity for me out in Utah, but where in Utah? You know, will they like me? Will I get lynched out there? And if you got a family, can my kids go to school there?
yeah,
uh, Can I get a haircut? I lived in New Hampshire for a little while. I had to learn how to cut my own hair when I was in New Hampshire. Yeah, unless I was going to drive 45 minutes or an hour. So, there wasn't a barber shop. There wasn't my type of music. It wasn't much of a crowd for me to hang into. So a lot of times, as minorities, we have to fit into unnatural situations and do unnatural things. So, if I was going to party in New Hampshire, 9 times out of 10, it was going to be a rock and roll or maybe a country part. I was going to learn the line dance. So I'd have stayed there. And,
right.
great clips just don't work for me. And there was a few years back, there was a young black male that had took a job. I won't say the defense contractor's name, but it's one of these towns, and he got an apartment. And for some reason, the white guy was jealous of him and ended up killing him. So him taking that work opportunity cost him his life, unfortunately. And and sometimes I don't even sometimes I think they realize the bias that we face in the workplace, but then sometimes I think they don't.
Yeah,
And that's the hard part. But enough with the negative. The book not only goes into recognizing the bias, but giving you tools and keys of how to adapt to it. Something that you can think about before you go in. I didn't know going in like, I come in thinking like everybody, hey, I got my degree, I got this job, it's gonna be lovely. They're gonna come to me with open arms and embrace me, and they're gonna teach me what I need to know. And oh, I'm just gonna achieve. All I gotta do is just show up and do what they tell me. Wrong. You know,
yeah,
you go in there, you got, the honeymoon is what, a week, maybe 2 weeks if you lucky,
yeah. If you're
and you
lucky.
better start performing and producing. It's over with. But luckily, there's some tools that I share in the books, like some of the AI tools that can help you prepare. So when you come into a role and you don't have a mentor, you don't know the company, if you study job descriptions and job titles, you can use leverage AI and some other tools that I'll discuss briefly in the book. And of course, if you coach with me, it's something that I will talk about where you can kind of get that landscape going in there where you don't have to go in there and ask so many questions. You can be ahead of the game and, versus going in there cold, getting a cold shoulder, no one there to help you. And it's just tips and tricks and techniques that you have to have when you're a minority, when you're going into business. And there's some do's and some don'ts, like trust no one. No one's your friend. This is work. If you go, you need to. It's a balance. There's a thin balance between, we always promote the happy after five lifestyle and the happy hour. But if you cannot hold your liquor and you've been known that when you drink, things happen. Do not drink at a work function, Christmas party, or whatever it may be. You may have to have a nice version daiquiri, what have you, or don't get even if you can't hold your liquor, never get sloppy drunk. You are judged every day. Everybody's going to agree with you and they're going to talk about, give you the pat on the back, but keep in mind, you're being judged. Each and everything you do,
Hmm.
you will be judged with it. And if not at that moment, later, they will come through and judge you on. But it's just you got to learn to take your career into your own hands, and you got to do it. You got to have a plan for it. It's not going to happen automatic. No one's going to be tapping you on your shoulder. Hey, you know, I like you. I want you. I will. It's time for a promotion. You got to set the plan out, and depending on where you at, it's funny. They say 60% of promotions come from just being around the right people at the right time and being likable. That outweighs performance. I always say you can be a mediocre performer and climb high. You just got to be competent in what you do and your abilities. But there's a certain way that you need to network and make yourself look bigger and greater
Yeah.
than what actually are. Those are I see people all the time that say, well, how did so and so get promoted? They ain't even that good. I've been over here, I can do this and I can do this. They can't do that. I taught them how to do that. They know how to play the game. They know how to network. You got to find a mentor and you got to have a coach, especially as you get up into the higher ranks of a corporation. Do you ever see a job opening for a vice president? Very little for a director. Those positions are not posted on Indeed. You won't find them. You probably won't even find them on your company website. Those positions come by the golf course, the bar, joining employment engagement groups. You got to socialize. Now, there are some that say introverts can do well in business. I don't understand how. I mean, you got to speak up for yourself as a leader. I don't understand how you can do it, but some argue that you can. And like I said, I know there's always critics and stuff when the book come out. And, you know, if you're not one of these people that's facing some of the problems that I just named and everything is great when you came to work and you was welcome and everybody loved you, taught you everything, then great. You are one of few. You should thank God each and every day.
Real talk. Yeah.
But if you're not, then it's a good chance to check out my book. My book is great for someone that's graduating high school, graduating college, or in the mid level in your career, and you're looking to advance. It's like me and you were talking yesterday. I guarantee you, with some of the steps that I talk about, if you're comfortable with making $30,000 to $50,000 a year, and that's your range, oh, the world is your oyster. I mean, you can literally walk down the street and get a job.
Yep. They basically handing them out at this point because a lot of people not working.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
create in advance. I mean, you can get. I got individuals, and I'm not gonna put them out there, but one individual in particular. A few years ago, he came when I was at the corporation, and I told this young man, he reminded me a little bit of myself when I was younger, and I was like, if you stick with me and do everything I tell you, I have you to six figures within a year. And that young man did what I asked him to do, and that young man is out there making six figures. I just got a promotion a few months ago. Another promotion outside of the one that I was responsible for. So that young man is soaring in his career, and who knows where he's gonna go.
that's great, man. I actually am not surprised though. You like you mentioned from the topics in the book, I think more people should be looking forward to helping themselves out in this new economy. I'm familiar with how a lot of these people now are taking the remote route. Everybody's working from home now, and it's easier to make money these days, and also just information, the resources of information that are on the internet, like our website, for example, aliafter5.com. We're giving you a space where you can essentially just type in the search bar what you need to look for in regards to tips, even all the way down to certain tools you can use, like Ali mentioned, different AI tools, or even different gadgets you can buy on the internet with everything right, in the palm of your hand. Taking full advantage of everything, all the different tools. So I'm glad Ali definitely speaking about this today. We were talking about earlier how certain maybe preying, like certain individuals are preying on us in our industries or in our careers or in our business. We will get preyed on at some point, and it helps to have certain tools and tips around you to keep from, keep stuff like that from happening. Or like I'll even give you an example of from my magazine. I talked about an experience that I had in corporate in 2019, just right before I decided to fully work for myself. I experienced that. A company, just fast growing company. Everybody was surprised how much money was coming into the company. And I work from a space of integrity. I'm always thinking, how can I build on what I'm being given and the information that I've taken over time to be in the position that I'm in. And sometimes, even though you might work hard or you might aligning yourself to something, aligning
Hmm.
yourself to the different types of visions that you might have. And I feel like that's what Ali was speaking on earlier. Just being in alignment with certain opportunities. And at the time, I felt like that's what was happening to me. I was aligned with the opportunity, but intuition comes into play. And, to me, business is a very spiritual thing. It comes from self. So I always looked at business as, if I'm going to charge someone for a service or do anything, I need to first understand myself. I need to understand what I'm
Absolutely.
going into. So,
You, a couple of good key points there. You mentioned everything is a mindset first. You
mhm,
got to have the right mindset and alignment. You got to be in alignment. You
yep,
got to sit down and you got to write this thing out and you got to plan out. You'd be surprised at people who say they want to do one thing, but their mind is here and there and they got three, four
yeah,
times. I've even, when I map certain things out, I've sat down and mind map certain things out and even realized confusion in my own mind sometimes. Wait a minute. How can I do this and do this? Everybody wants to do this. Oh, I want to be a CEO. I want to be this. I want to do this on the side. No, you got to do one thing and get one thing good. You know what they call it, the power of focus.
yeah,
Stay focused. Do one thing well, then you can branch out into other things. But you can't just go out there. And I don't know people talk about multiple streams of income, but you first got to get that one stream
yeah. Gotta
together.
get the one down.
Get that one to start funding the other stream. But with the mindset piece, and that's something that I go into in the book is sometimes a lot of us lose ourselves in the corporate world because and it doesn't and I'm back up a little bit. Sometimes it's not always in the white world. Sometimes your very own color can be the worst.
Yeah,
Hey, so here's a game with them. You don't trust them.
yeah,
You can't trust all of us either in this corporate world because we'll dime you out and laugh at you
yep,
and talk about you. I told a story on one of the podcasts. When I was trying to come on my way up, man, it was us that was giving me hell. They were laughing at me. I had my dream and they just thought it was they didn't have visions for themselves and everything. And I just knew I didn't want to be 70 or 80 doing what they do at that age. So I was like, I got to get out of this
yeah,
barrel per se. And man, they talked about me and laughed at me like a dog. But it's neither here nor there. I forgive them for they know not what they do. I reached my goals, so I had no hard feelings.
yep,
But it was just a shame. I couldn't believe that they couldn't see the vision that I was trying to share, because I wanted to bring as many people with me as I could, but everybody can't go with you. Can't go to your destiny with you.
that's
But
real.
no, you have to have the proper mindset, but sometimes going into different environments chip away at that. I always make the statement, and sometimes you got to get out of that. If you're at a job that stresses you out all the time and you can't see the win, and you trying everything, you company, you doing your part, but they're just not letting you, then it's like I always say, no matter how good the soil is, a palm tree is not gonna grow in the wrong environment. You can't go to Florida and get a palm tree.
Yeah,
You take it to North Dakota and plant it. I don't care how you water it and expect it to grow up, to grow and be beautiful. It's got to go back in the environment. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to make the decision, and they may make it for
yeah.
you,
I was just
where
gonna say.
Let me go get where I align at and where I can grow. And you're not meant to be in certain places forever. You may need to take this role, and you may be meant to be in this role for about a year or two.
Yep.
And now it's time to jump and move to the next role or go somewhere else. So you got to be constantly looking and plotting your career, or your career will plot you. Know what you want to do. You got to take it. You got to take it, your career into your hand. And one of the things I had conversations with some individuals, a company job is not to pay you enough to feed your family and to take care and pay your bills. That is that is not the purpose. The purpose of a business is to make money.
Yep.
How you feed your family and the income that you make is your problem.
It's your
And you
problem.
got to figure this out.
Yep.
Now I know that sounds kind of hard, but if you put a plan, you can do it. Like I said, you just got to have the strategy to do it. And you just got to go where they make money. You got to up your skills. And right now it's easier than ever. Like I said, when I'm coming through, I didn't have YouTube to show me, and I came from the military, which is a whole different mindset and strategy too that people have to look at when you get into the corporate world. When you coming out of the military to the corporate world, there's a different strategy in the way that we look at things. It's very different. Now, like I said, I didn't have YouTube, AI, and everything. I got it now, and I'm taking full advantage of it. So now is the perfect opportunity for those that want to do job changes or advance in their career or just whatever they do. And it's not hard to stand out. I mean, if you work in McDonald's, and from the looks at most of the McDonald's I've been in there, the customer service is horrible. It don't take much to stand out if you
Exactly.
want to get a promotion, be a manager. You
Real
can get
talk.
that manager, and I'm not sure what a McDonald's manager made, but it's one easy bump. You want some money. Be
Yep.
reliable. You can make manager at McDonald's. And the competition is, I assure you, is not there. And if not, go to Wendy's or Burger
Word.
King.
That was real. Yeah. Uh
You can advance from there.
yeah, this
But it,
world is working in our favor now as far as any up and coming entrepreneurs or just any, like you said, anybody in careers is it's like open game now. So don't sleep on
but
yourself.
but it's full circle as you go into there because a lot of time when you go into these situations where you don't fit, it plays with your self-esteem.
Yeah.
It plays with your emotions because you're that kid that's left out. They're celebrating. They brought cookies. You didn't get the cookies. And if you're not careful, you'll start to play into that. Your mind will go into this loop where they don't like me. Oh, I'm black. It may be true, but you cannot believe it. You got to believe that
Yeah.
this is a test. I think TD Jake says every blessing he ever came, there was a storm before it. So you got to realize this is teaching you this. This is it's a lesson in it. This is teaching you something. This is work. Go buy your own damn cookies.
Yep.
You don't need their cookies. You're here to get a paycheck, and you're here to learn whatever skill they got to give you, and then some. That's another thing. When you're at work, work is a paid education.
Yep.
I'm gonna say that again. This is your pay. This is a college course where they're paying you to take it. That's the way your mindset needs to be. When you go in there, you want to learn every damn thing that company got that you can. You know, Hey, if you McDonald's and you at the cash register, learn the cash register. Learn how to make burgers. Hell, learn the Big Mac special sauce. Learn and take it further there. Learn how to order. How do they do their inventory? How do they
Mhm.
do that? This is making you valuable. What is the supply chain like? When do they make their runs? Let's go deeper. And if you can, reach out there and get you some mentor. Gotta have a mentor. Reach out there, email, find out who the managers are, the corporate managers or whatever. Get you some mentors, some coaches. This will teach you to recognize opportunity.
Yep.
Because, like I said, there's opportunity around you, but you got to be trained to recognize it. I tell the story of Neil Goddard, The Acres of Diamonds, where He had a farm, and at the time the Asians was coming over and they were mining for diamonds. And he was thinking, man, if I could just find a diamond the size of my thumb, I'd be rich. I wouldn't have to worry about nothing no more. So what he do? He sold his farm, went out to the west, mining, looking for diamonds. Poor fella never found any diamonds. Finally got depressed, gave up and drowned himself. Meanwhile, one day, the fellow that he sold his farm to was walking around his farm and he noticed these strange rocks all over the place. And he looked at them, and so he had them examine. And come to find out, it was diamonds all over the farm that he just sold. He didn't know that diamonds don't look like diamonds. They had to have to go through a process and be mined and cleaned up or whatever. And that's the way success is. Success does not look like success. It is ugly and painful. Matter of fact, most millionaires are made doing pain, depressions, wars, and everything else is when millionaires are made and when success is there. But you have to be taught to know when you look over there and it's like, I think a business opportunity, or I see a promotion coming. Let me go over there and get in line for this. Learn your boss's job. The time, if you want your boss's job or so and so job over there, and I don't know, marketing or whatever, the time to prepare for that job is not when they have a job opening. You need to be doing your job well, learning, doing part of their job, take on more responsibility. Most people say, well, I ain't doing that, ain't my job. Do more than your job.
Exactly.
It will only, that's how you get to the paper. Think about it. It's time to lay off. If you're a manager and we got to cut heads. Now, I like you good, but you can only do 8. Meanwhile, Ted over there is not only do A, help you with your job. Ted does A. Ted runs and trains every new employee that we got. And Ted goes over there and helps me with some of my reports that I got to do. Plus, Ted can go over into another department and help out there. What do you think going home? So, that's what the type of mindset that we got to get. And we're not taught this. So it's not your fault. No one ever taught me this type of stuff. I had to learn the hard way. But the book, once you get the book will gear you towards what you need in the right mindset, because that's the key. Talking about vision boards. And really you got to realize too, this is full circle. A lot of relationships fail and there's a lot of problems, even culturally,
Yeah.
due to work. I was talking, before with a coworker who's a black woman. She's like, black women has it worse in corporate and more so than black men. And like I had to tell her, what difference does it make? We both got it bad.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm sitting here kicked back, relaxing, you suffering.
Yeah.
So yeah, one may get a little pat on the back every now and then, and you don't fall for the trick, because hey, you got to sit down at the table once or twice. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I got to bet it's still bad. We still got what, less than 10 black CEOs of major corporate Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah. That
So,
in itself that should be like a motivating factor in itself.
and even for those that own your own business, the biggest thing that I hate to see people say is, I got a black owned business. There's only what, 14 million blacks in the United States,
Yeah.
but over 400 million, probably 500 now, million people in the United States. Go for the big money. Go market to everyone. Now, if you got a specialty product that's made for, okay, that's fine. I get it. It's geared in there. But just say you're a business owner. I'm a business owner who happened to be black. That's what everybody else do to us. I mean, you don't see Asians running around Asian-owned business. Asians go in there and go to our neighborhood and market to us. They don't market to other Asians.
Yeah.
They
We
find
do
rights in
this
our
off of their
neighborhood.
food.
Indians come in and they open liquor stores in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing for a white company to put our face on something. Music, rap music. Hell, we don't even own that.
Yeah.
You want to be the mastermind behind something, cater to to see other cultures. If you got a product or skill set or whatever, don't just limit it to black. You know, I had got into a conversation years ago with a fella, and he was like, "Oh, man, you don't love yourself." I'm like, why? I don't mind marketing something that to another coach, and I put their face on it. But that's only benefiting you. Well, I mean,
Okay.
it is. Yes, this exactly. You take
That's
that
business
money.
as usual.
It's business as usual. Take that money and then you can help your coach out.
Exactly.
Don't take the coach. Well, I gotta take the. I mean, you're taking the. If I'm asking for your money, then turn around trying to give it back to you to support you. I mean, what good is that?
Gotta learn how to play the game. Like you said earlier, man. You gotta learn to realize that opportunity.
It's like you have. It takes reading. You gotta be reading. You gotta
Mhm.
be learning. You need to be on YouTube. You need to be watching different stuff, and you gotta stay motivated because at the end of the day, we both, black men and women and others, when you go to work and you beat down and you got a boss or you feel disrespected, then you come home and you're disrespected by your spouse.
Yeah.
That creates friction there. So it breaks your home down because last thing you want to deal with is turmoil at your house, hell at work, and then hell at your home. So that breaks down the family structure. And then once that tears apart, now you're all over the place.
Yep. Foundation crazy then. Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all,
it's
you
hard to
don't want
build a
that.
foundation.
You don't want that.
No, you don't want that when you can align yourself, become
Mhm.
partners. And when I say mentors, I mean you have to get out there and you need a diverse mentorship. You know, you got to have different races. It's statistics show that diversity, and this is for some of you business owners too. You want to prosper in your business, you need to make sure you got a little diversity. If you, as you grow throughout your business, you want those diverse ideals. They said diverse companies are more profitable.
Yep. This is
You
true,
know,
y'all.
treat everybody right.
I agree, man. I think eventually, well, when the book comes out for sure, a lot of people will be learning these important methods. I'm glad that you really talking about this, like really talking about it. Because there's a lot of gaps. There's gaps in and it shouldn't be, considering that there's a lot of channels, there's a lot of content being created about this, but still there's like not very straightforward information. And like you said, back in not even that long ago, we didn't have YouTube. YouTube is still fairly new.
Mhm.
It's time to tap in, y'all. I mean, like you said, diverse mentorship is very important, and that's what we're here
That's
for.
right. See, you can't. It's like I was told. You can't do nothing by yourself but fail. You got to have a team. Your career is a team. Whether it's your spouse, children, friends, family. You got to surround yourself with a positive team that's motivating you, that can get you somewhere, and have these after five conversations as we discussed.
Yes.
As I did one of the videos, I was out Saturday and I met this guy Rico, who was an operations manager for a construction site, and it was an interesting story because he told me about how he got lucky. They said he started to go to school, but school wasn't for him, and he ended up he was gonna go in the military, but then that fell through. He didn't go into the military, so he took a chance at I want to say a contracting position as a recruiter for a construction site. His brother knew him, and he basically did some of his principles unbeknown to him that I'm talking about in the book. Well, he just worked his way up. He learned everything, became good, got promoted there, and then next thing you know, they offered him to be an operations manager of the site. So he just came in there, small town, and he's like, now he's making the money that he wanted to make, and he's fairly young dude, and he made it in a short amount of time, and now he had tried his hand at real estate investing, so he leveraged his 9 to 5 and the skills from his 9 to 5, no doubt, to do something on his side, form a little business on his side. So, he got into flipping some houses. And so he said he had done well at that. And we, traded a little bit of advice, but it was a fruitful conversation, which is something I would encourage everyone to get out there and have. Get out of your atmosphere and your element. Get off TikTok. Sometimes, stop talking about the drama and what celebrity has done this and that, and let's talk about something that's going to stimulate your mind. You should network with other coworkers. Sometime I reach out to some colleagues that may be in other states or in other sites. If it's nothing more than a Zoom call, like, hey, you know, I would like to meet you. I see you do what I do. Let's trade best practices. What does your day to day look like? How is it different from mine? What is some advice do you have for me that can make me better? And most people be thrilled. Even I've even gotten on
Yeah,
LinkedIn and found
true.
people and talked to different people that I found interested in certain things that I may not know about or be fluent in.
Yeah, LinkedIn is probably one of the best platforms I think as far as networking, and it goes beyond just in the states. You can set yourself up if you decide that you want to go be an expat in, I don't know, any country. You basically start building your network from LinkedIn, and you can just go out there and already have a group of people waiting for you when you get there, put you in position. Like it's it's out there. We don't have to be limited to just our cities anymore or where we are, like towns and stuff. So,
For years, I never even had to really apply for a job. I was recruited a few times off LinkedIn. They jumped in my inbox, DM'd me, and hey, let me see your resume. You put your skills out there,
yep.
and you start talking yourself. Like I said, every day you are selling yourself. I actually got a job offer within my company, and even in your company, every day you are marketing
Mhm.
yourself. You're selling. I did a veterans event one day, one Veterans Day, many years ago. And mind you, at this time, I was an hourly employee, and I had aspirations to get into management, but I was volunteering and on my own time. So I was taking trainings. Well, let me back up a little bit. So yeah, I was an hourly employee, wanted to get into management. So I joined one of the employee resource groups and leadership groups. So they had there was a Veterans Day party that they sponsored. So I was just checking people in from the company. They had a nice speaker and everything. So I'm just standing in there having fun with some of the other people that was there and pleasant. Well, hey, how you doing? Greeting people and everything. Not worrying about anything. Not even thinking about anything. But what I didn't know was there was a manager there that was watching me that night. Now this is November, and fast forward April, that manager came to me and said, "Hey, I got this position open, and I want you for it. And I'm gonna tell you why I want you. I watched you on Veterans Day, and I was impressed with the way you moved and the way you did things." And I was like, wow, I had no idea that I was being watched and set up. And then you got other people that's talking into your corner. Talk about the after five conversations. One thing that sparked that during Christmas time, but the same ERG group had a Christmas party, and it was a director of finance at her home. And we're just sitting around the table, and I'm sitting there saying nothing. So at this point, I had just graduated. I had my master's in accounting, and I'm drinking wine, and I'm just laughing and giggling, being natural, my natural self, but control, no doubt. Uh, and one of the ladies say, "Hey, don't you have a degree in accounting?" Yes. Why haven't you took the company's training into this? Into such and such. Well, I didn't realize that the company offers such. Oh yeah, so and so runs that. I'll send you an email on Monday. I'll get you in that training. Had I not been there for that conversation, that was an opportunity that would have been missed. And that opportunity taught me a lot about the company and how to talk through, and how to get through the interviews and understand how the company report. That information still that I got from going through that training, still relevant now to me. But it goes back to having those after five conversations, networking, in marketing and selling yourself and and being vigilant because you don't know who's watching you and being in alignment. You know, you got to see them diamonds. You got to pick them rocks up, look like rough rocks up, and know how to clean them up. I've taken some opportunities and been through some things I thought was the worst damn thing in the world. Why in the hell did I do that? But in the end, when when you look back and connect the dots, it's like, oh, I see now why I had to go through that. It was hell when I went through it, but now, and even there's certain managers, it's like, oh, damn, they rode me like hell. And I hated them at the moment, but they ended up being my best friends in the end because they shaped me, made me correct, helped me to get up this. Without them pushing me and cutting and jabbing at me, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Still climbing. I wouldn't have that hunger, that motivation. They sharpened me. And that's the thing that people got to realize. It's not going to be pleasant. But you got to be able to distinguish what's an unpleasant opportunity from what's just pain and you need to go. Cut the ties and free yourself.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the biggest skill that I feel. I think you kind of mentioned this earlier is knowing when to pivot in a career or
Mm-hmm.
in business. Because sometimes certain things might look a certain way in your vision, and then, like you said, it just ends up becoming a pain. So yeah, you
But
definitely
the
got to
opposite
be ready.
happens too. I've also experienced the opposite where I'm not in pain, where it's a great experience
Yeah.
and I'm just comfortable and I'm laying back, but I'm
Yep.
not growing. So that's not a good situation either. Where it's like,
Exactly.
okay, I can sit here forever, but I'm never going anywhere here in this position, So I've had to say bye bye to certain positions because I just couldn't see myself not learning and it's not stretching me.
Hmm.
I'm too comfortable here. So I need to go where I'm challenged and pulled up.
Yep. You'll be looking back 10 years later, still doing that same thing, no kind of nowhere towards where you actually meant to be going. So yeah, that
And that's
don't
the thing.
don't get stuck.
I don't have to, people got to understand you don't have to move up. Because, I mean, like I've talked to certain people, they're in a position where they say, hey, I don't want the stress. I don't want to go no higher than what I'm at now. And that's fine
Yeah,
if that's what you want to
that's
do.
what you
But
want.
that's the key thing, knowing what you want to do.
Exactly. It is essential to know what you want to do. And anything. That's why I said earlier, everything in this video today, you should be able to not only apply to work and business, but your everyday life. Knowing when opportunities to be a better person even comes into play.
Oh
That's
yeah,
something you can
definitely.
apply to work. Yeah.
Work, your home life, and everything you do. You
Yeah.
want to be you, because I'm not about kissing ass for a promotion or a position.
Nah.
So
That's
you
dead.
got to be me. I got to be me.
Exactly, man. Hey, this was cool, man. Actually, want to thank you for doing this with me, man. Every time, I feel like every week we do one of these, it'll be tons of value. I don't even see y'all not wanting to catch this, being involved in this. So eventually we'll be doing these live every week. Right now we're just gonna see how it goes. Ali, as you can see, he's very knowledgeable. Um, has pretty much taught me things just from working with him on the podcast. So y'all please check out his book. Y'all check out Hybrid Manual. Basically wrapping up everything that we talked about today in the magazine as well. And of course, Ali's gonna have articles wrote, inside of that. So
Yeah, questions, answers. I'm always
yeah,
available. Y'all support Lois Shoe too. Come donate. He's working on his app and some things that he's got working on it. So show him some love.
yes,
Go on
please.
the website, donate. The man's, I don't know when he sleeps. He's 24/7. And if y'all need his coaching, hit him up. He
Yeah,
sets up businesses. He does a whole gamut. Right now, he's the heartbeat of After Five.
yeah. Essentially, I feel like right now with Ali and the whole After Five team, we almost have like, to me it's like a brotherhood. So that's what I want for you watching. I want you to have your soul family with you to be able to help you in making decisions and being a better you. So please show the channel some love. If you like this video, of course we're gonna come back with some more heat like this, but just give us a like, leave us a comment, and let us know how we can make these videos better. If you think it's great, leave a great comment letting us know we're doing good. And also, if you think this video can help somebody, please, please share this with friends, family, or even your enemies. Just share it so we can get some more love on this YouTube algorithm. So you have any last words, Ali, before we wrap up today's episode, man?
Never forget who you are, even when you're in the room and it's just you and your kind. Remember, you're in that room for a reason. You matter. Don't let nobody take away who you are. You know, sometimes I have to tell myself sometimes, wait a minute. I know what I'm doing. I'm the man. I'm here for a reason. I'm just as brilliant as everybody else sitting in this room. Although sometimes I may not feel that way, but that's the type of energy and pride that you need. You have to keep. Bring that same energy every day. When when you're happy and you're confident, you're celebrating, bring that same energy when you're not so confident. So remember, you matter, stay up, and hey, let's go get it.
That's real talk, y'all. We definitely gonna get it. Y'all can check us out. This episode will be up on our website, www.aliafter5.com. We just optimized it, so everything that you're looking for, this is gonna be your new oracle to check out. So y'all please show love. And we are out today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Y'all have a good evening.
Peace.